Every night you die a little death. Your conscious mind surrenders. And then the dreams begin. For most of human history, we believed dreams were messages from gods, from the dead, from the future itself. Then, just over a century ago, two men claimed something revolutionary: that dreams weren't messages from the divine, but from ourselves, from a hidden realm within our own minds. They called it the unconscious. But our story doesn't begin in Vienna. It begins thousands of years earlier, in the temples of ancient Egypt. Imagine you're sick, desperately sick. You've tried everything and nothing works. So you do what countless Egyptians did. You go to the temple of Imhotep, god of healing. You bathe, you pray, and then you sleep. This was called dream incubation. You slept in the sacred temple, hoping the god would visit you in your dreams and reveal the cure. And here's the thing, it often worked. The ancient Greeks adopted this practice. At healing sanctuaries called Asclepiae, priests would interpret your temple dreams, prescribing treatments based on the symbols you saw. A snake might mean transformation. Water could signify purification. The Mesopotamians went further. They created the world's first dream dictionaries, catalogs of symbols etched in clay. Dream of losing your teeth? That meant the death of a relative. Dream of flying? Success in business. But not everyone believed dreams were divine messages. In the 4th century BCE, a philosopher named Aristotle proposed something radical. Aristotle argued that dreams weren't prophecies at all. They were natural phenomena, caused by residual sensory impressions continuing in sleep. Dreams, he said, were just indigestion of the mind. Two theories, two worldviews. For the next 2,000 years, humanity remained divided. Were dreams windows to the divine, or just random noise? Then came November 1899, Vienna, the heart of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. A city obsessed with art, music, and propriety. And beneath that polished surface, neurosis. In a modest office at Burgas 19, a neurologist named Sigmund Freud was seeing patients with mysterious symptoms: paralysis without physical cause, blindness that doctors couldn't explain, women who couldn't speak, men who couldn't stop washing their hands. Freud became convinced these symptoms had a hidden meaning, and he found the key to that meaning in dreams. On November 4th, 1899, though dated 1900 for symbolic reasons, Freud published The Interpretation of Dreams, 600 pages that would change everything. Freud's central claim was audacious. Every dream, no matter how absurd, is a disguised wish fulfillment. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious, a coded message from desires too dangerous for our waking minds to acknowledge. And those desires? Usually sexual. In Freud's view, the unconscious mind was seething with repressed sexual energy. Dreams transformed these forbidden wishes into symbols. A tunnel wasn't just a tunnel. A tower wasn't just a tower. But Freud's theories weren't just academic. After World War I, soldiers returned home with what was called shell shock, what we now know as PTSD. They had recurring nightmares, reliving the horrors of trench warfare night after night. These nightmares challenged Freud's theory. Where was the wish fulfillment in reliving your friend's death? Freud revised his thinking. Perhaps dreams weren't just about wishes. Perhaps they were the mind's attempt to master trauma, to process the unprocessable. But Freud's star pupil was about to break away and propose something even stranger. Carl Gustav Jung was Freud's chosen heir, his crown prince of psychoanalysis. But Jung couldn't accept that everything came down to sex. Jung had been studying myths, fairy tales, and religions from around the world, and he noticed something extraordinary. The same symbols kept appearing. The wise old man, the great mother, the hero's journey, the shadow. How could cultures separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years dream the same images? Jung proposed something radical. Beneath our personal unconscious lies a deeper layer, the collective unconscious, a kind of psychological inheritance shared by all humanity, and dreams were its language. In 1913, Freud and Jung's friendship exploded in mutual recrimination. Freud accused Jung of mysticism. Jung accused Freud of reductionism. The two men never spoke again. Two men, two theories of dreams. Freud said, dreams disguise our forbidden personal desires. Jung said, dreams reveal our connection to something universal and ancient. September 1952, University of Chicago. Graduate student Eugene Aserinsky is watching his 8-year-old son sleep, electrodes attached to his head. Aserinsky expects the brain to be quiet during sleep. Instead, he sees something impossible, periods of intense activity. And during those periods, the eyes are moving rapidly beneath closed lids. REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, the discovery changed everything. Dreams weren't mystical or meaningless. They were biological. They happened during a specific, measurable phase of sleep. Later research would reveal the mechanics. During REM sleep, the visual cortex blazes with activity while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and rationality, goes dark. The amygdala, our emotional center, runs wild. Scientists propose new theories. Maybe dreams help consolidate memories, sorting the important from the trivial. Maybe they simulate threats, giving us a safe space to rehearse escaping from danger. Maybe they're just random electrical noise that our brain tries to make sense of. The age of neuroscience seemed to make Freud and Jung obsolete. Dreams weren't wishes or archetypes, they were just brain static. But some philosophers weren't satisfied. In mid-23rd century France, thinkers like Maurice Merleau-Ponty and Jean-Paul Sartre wrestled with a deeper question. What kind of experience is a dream? When you're dreaming, it feels absolutely real. You don't know you're dreaming. The world of the dream has its own coherence, its own logic, however bizarre. Merleau-Ponty pointed out something unsettling. If dreams can feel completely real while we're in them, how do we know we're not dreaming right now? What makes waking life more real than the dream? The ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi had posed this riddle 2,000 years earlier. Once I dreamed I was a butterfly, fluttering here and there. Suddenly, I awoke and was myself again. But now, I don't know. Was I a man dreaming I was a butterfly? Or am I now a butterfly dreaming I am a man? But here's where Jung's theory gets really interesting and really controversial. Jung claimed the collective unconscious was universal, that people everywhere dream in the same symbolic language. But is that actually true? Among many Native American tribes, dreams weren't private experiences. They were communal resources. A young person might go on a vision quest, fasting alone in the wilderness, seeking a dream that would reveal their purpose, their guardian spirit. When they returned, the entire tribe would gather to hear the dream. The community would interpret it together. The dream didn't belong to the individual. It belonged to everyone. In medieval Islam, the scholar Ibn Sirin compiled an encyclopedic dream dictionary. But Islamic dream interpretation worked nothing like Freudian analysis. Dreams were categorized into 3 types: true visions from Allah, whispers from Satan, or reflections of daily concerns. When anthropologists actually studied dreams across cultures, they found something complicated. Yes, certain symbols appear everywhere: water, animals, falling, flying, but what they mean varies dramatically. In Western dream interpretation, dreaming of a snake might symbolize sexuality or danger. For the Aboriginal Australians, the rainbow serpent is a creator deity. Dreaming of a snake could be a sacred vision of cosmic importance. The question remains unresolved. Do we all share a collective unconscious? Or do we each dream the dreams our culture teaches us to dream? But there's one aspect of dreams that's haunted humanity since the beginning, and that's hardly possible to explain. Across every culture, in every era, people report the same uncanny experience: dreaming of events before they happen. In the biblical book of Genesis, Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream of 7 fat cows and 7 lean cows as a prophecy: 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Egypt prepares and survives. The Oracle of Delphi claimed to receive prophecies in dreamlike trances. Leaders of the ancient world would travel hundreds of miles to consult her before making crucial decisions. Abraham Lincoln reportedly told his cabinet about a dream he had just days before his assassination. He dreamed of walking through the White House and finding a corpse in the East Room. When he asked who had died, he was told, "The president, he was killed by an assassin." In 1966, a coal waste landslide in Aberfan, Wales, killed 144 people, mostly children. Afterward, dozens of people came forward claiming they'd had premonitory dreams of the disaster. If even a single one of these accounts is true, it shatters our understanding of time itself. Can the future somehow reach backward and influence the present? Are we living in a universe where cause and effect aren't as simple as we think? Modern science is deeply skeptical. The brain, they point out, processes millions of pieces of information. We dream every night. By pure statistics, some dreams will coincidentally match future events, and we suffer from confirmation bias. We remember the dreams that seem to come true and forget the thousands that didn't. We retrofit meaning onto random coincidence. But some philosophers and physicists haven't given up. Quantum mechanics has already shown us that time might be stranger than we think. That observation can affect the past. That the universe might not be as deterministic as Newton believed. The question of precognitive dreams sits at the uncomfortable border between psychology, physics, and philosophy. We don't know the answer. We might never know. So, where does this leave us? After ancient temples and Freudian couches, after brain scans and philosophical debates, what are dreams? Maybe the answer is all of it, and none of it. Freud and Jung gave us frameworks for meaning. They may have been wrong about the details. Not everything is sexual, not every symbol is universal, but they were right about something fundamental. Dreams matter because we say they matter. The neuroscientists are right too. Dreams are biological processes, electrochemical storms in sleeping brains, memory consolidation, threat simulation, randomness trying to find patterns. But here's what's remarkable. Whether you're sleeping in an Egyptian temple, lying on a Freudian couch, or waking up in a sleep lab with electrodes on your head, dreams still feel meaningful. A combat veteran processes trauma through nightmares until, gradually, the nightmares change and healing begins. An artist dreams an image that becomes their masterpiece. A scientist dreams of a benzene ring and solves a problem that's haunted them for months. Every night, 8 billion people close their eyes and surrender to the strangest experience we have: being conscious while unconscious, experiencing worlds that don't exist, feeling emotions about events that never happened. Maybe dreams are messages from God. Maybe they're wishes from the id. Maybe they're archetypes from the collective unconscious. Maybe they're just neurons firing randomly in the dark. Or maybe, and this is what Freud and Jung really gave us, maybe dreams are an invitation. An invitation to know ourselves more deeply, to explore the vast, strange territories inside our own minds. Because every morning, we wake up. We leave the dream world behind. but something remains, a feeling, a fragment, an image that won't let go. And in that moment, we have a choice. We can dismiss it as meaningless noise, or we can ask, what is this trying to tell me? The answer might not come from ancient temples or modern laboratories. It might not come from Vienna or Zurich. It might only come from you,